Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Sauce. Kind of an average night. I mean, both tickets finished in the red, but NBA, I went 2-0 against the spread. So those are usually people's favorite picks against the spread. I went 2-0. The SGP hit in the Lakers game for like plus 976 or some shit. So that was awesome. And then in the MLB, again, the ticket was red, but top bets went 2-1, and it would have been 3-0 if Kenley Jansen doesn't blow the save. So it actually wasn't a bad night, but it's Saturday. There's no playoff basketball. 15 MLB games. Let's go.
Welcome to the Sauce. The Sauce. Sauce. Hey, get the sauce.
First up, Rays at Yankees, 1:05 p.m. start time. Shane McClanahan pitching against Nestor Cortez. Great pitching matchup here. Tampa Bay opens up as slight favorites at minus 115. Total opens up at 7.5. Now, to break this matchup down, obviously it's tough to fade McClanahan. Tampa is a perfect 8-0 in McClanahan starts this season. They haven't lost a single one. So right off the bat, you see this minus 130 price tag. Pretty tough to pass that up. He's also got some pretty decent career numbers against the Yankees. But I gotta say, his only start in Yankee Stadium last year wasn't great. He gave up 4 runs, including 2 homers. In fact, all 3 of his career starts at Yankee Stadium weren't good. Tampa's just 1-2 in those games. And the one win, McClanahan only pitched 3 innings in that game. So Shane may have some decent looking numbers against the Yankees on his career, but he certainly doesn't have good looking numbers at Yankee Stadium. Yankees got Nestor Cortez on the mound, always a reliable guy at home. He's 2-0 with a 3.13 ERA at home this year compared to a 7.20 ERA on the road. Big difference there on the home and road splits. Nestor pitched twice against the Rays in Yankee Stadium last year, and he was good in both of those starts. I think the value's on the Yankees here at plus money. I think they could definitely beat the Rays 2 in a row. In fact, Tampa has 10 losses on the season. 6 of those are back-to-backs. So they have a pattern of losing back-to-back games. I think the Yankees get them here. Give me the Yankees money line plus 118 next game. Reds at Marlins. I'm skipping this one for now. I might have a bet for this one on the 11 a.m. live show, but I need to see what the line does. Obviously, I want to back Sandy Alcantara. I'm a big fan, but Sandy just doesn't look the same this year. Did they overuse him last year? Is he gassed? I really don't know. I mean, he throws a lot of innings. So I don't know at this point. I'm skipping for now. I'll let you know in the morning. Next game. Mariners at Tigers. Another one where I don't really have a bet to give out right now. I don't know enough about these starting pitchers, to be honest. Bryce Miller has looked awesome in both his starts this season for Seattle. I know Detroit just took a loss, but they've been underpriced in every single game for like a week and a half now, so I really don't want to fade them. Let's see what the line does. I might have a bet for this one on the live show at 11 a.m. Next game. Cubs at Twins. Hayden Wesneski pitching against Joe Ryan. Twins open up as heavy favorites here, minus 205. Total opens up at 7.5. I don't care if the Cubs have scored 16 runs in their last 2 games. I don't. They hung a 10-piece on the Cardinals the other night. They scored 6 last night. I still don't trust this lineup at all. They haven't been hitting for damn near a month now. I'm not going to let 2 games change that. Joe Ryan has been one of the best starting pitchers in baseball this year. I know he just gave up 8 hits to Cleveland the other night, but division rivals are weird, especially in the AL Central. None of that shit makes sense, and that division's it's the weirdest division in baseball. They've seen Joe Ryan so many times, so the numbers there are a little skewed. I don't think the Cubs are going to score a run in the first 5 innings of this game. That's the angle I like here. Do I trust the Twins lineup? No. So I'm either going to go with a first 5 under or maybe a Twins first 5 on the run line. We'll see. I'll let you know on the live show at 11 a.m. Next game. Braves at Blue Jays. Bryce Elder pitching against Jose Berrios. This is a 3:07 p.m. start. Toronto opens up as very slight favorites, minus 115. Total opens up at 9.5. We got Jose Berrios at home. I am always down to back Jose at home. He's a completely different pitcher at home. Both his starts at home this year were excellent. His numbers on the road are terrible. He's got like a 0.75 ERA at home this year or something crazy like that. He's a solid starting pitcher in Toronto. He was last year as well. Away from Toronto, he's an auto fade. I also like that Berrios has shown us he can pitch against good lineups recently. 7 innings, 2 runs against Houston. 5 innings, 1 run against Tampa. The Braves lineup is obviously loaded, but just 18th against right-handed pitching in the last 7 days. We just saw Brian Bello pitch a great game against Atlanta. We just saw Tyler Wells pitch a great game against Atlanta. The Braves haven't been hitting right-handed pitching as well as you think. I think Barrios is going to deal here. Look, I don't trust Bryce Elder. I know he's got great numbers on the season, and he did pitch well against the Astros, but other than that, really no solid performances this season against any good lineups. He got hit up by Kansas City. He got hit up by Baltimore, who doesn't even hit right-handed pitching that well. So I'm probably going to back Toronto. Actually, I'm definitely on Toronto first 5. I just haven't decided if I'm playing the money line or the run line. I want to see what the line does from now until tomorrow morning. But definitely Toronto first 5 in this one. Next game. Nats at Mets, 4:05 p.m. start. Trevor Williams pitching against Joey Lucchesi. Mets open up as -165 favorites. Total opens up at 9. Simple question. How do we not take Washington here? Trevor Williams has been pitching well. I mean, he just had a rough start in Arizona, but his last 2 home starts were solid as hell. Granted, they were against the Cubs and the Guardians. That being said, how much better is the Mets lineup than those 2 teams right now? The Mets are just 25th in OPS against right-handed pitching in the last 2 weeks. Yes, the Mets lineup did just see Trevor Williams a couple weeks back, and yes, they did hit off him, but overall, I don't know how you can trust these Mets bats right now. And by the way, you want to know who else is seeing a pitcher that they just saw 2 weeks ago? The Nationals. They just saw Lucchesi, and they hit off him. They scored 3 runs off him, and we're talking about the Nats versus a left-handed pitcher here. Now, I will give you that that Washington bats at home have been terrible. They just never score runs at home. That being said, I feel a lot more comfortable trusting the Nats lineup against a lefty starter, especially a lefty starter that they just saw 2 weeks ago and scored on. Washington is 12th in OPS against left-handed pitching in the last 2 weeks. In my opinion, Washington's got the starting pitching advantage, and they got home field advantage here. I'm not going to mess with the bullpens because the Nats bullpen has been pretty dreadful recently. They're actually 30th in WOBA allowed over the last 2 weeks, but first 5? Give me the Nats. Give me Washington first 5 plus a half run at -110 next game. Rangers at A's, 4:05 p.m. start time here. John Gray pitching against J.P. Sears. Oakland opens up as -130 favorites, but this line, it moved 30 cents already. I don't know what that opening line was. Total opens up at 8. I know you're probably not crazy about backing John Gray on the road, but this dude has excellent career numbers against these Oakland bats. Oakland's current lineup combined is hitting just 190 lifetime against John Gray. Also, keep in mind, John Gray was awesome in his last start. He went into Seattle and completely blanked the Mariners. 7 innings, 4 hits, just 1 run, and 8 strikeouts. Pitched great. Now, does that mean he's starting to find his groove and we should trust him? Or does that mean he's due to get rocked? I know Oakland's actually been hitting a little bit recently, but it's still Oakland. So I'm down to trust John Gray a little bit in this spot here. As far as J.P. Sears goes, hear me out here. I know you're expecting me to crack a couple jokes here. And yes, Sears doesn't have the greatest track record lifetime against Texas. 3 career starts, a 5.60 ERA. But all of his career starts were on the road in Texas. All 3 on the road in Texas. He's actually never pitched against the Rangers at home. And if you take a look at Sears' game logs, his last 2 home starts were solid. He blanked the Mariners, 6 innings, 0 runs. And before that, he pitched a great game at home against the Mets. So I can't believe I'm saying this in a Rangers-A's game with John Gray and J.P. Sears on the mound. But I'm looking first 5 under here, sharp as hell. Give me the first 5 under 4.5 at -108. I'm going to take a shot on it. Next game. Cardinals at Red Sox, 4:07 p.m. start. Steven Matz versus Chris Sale. Boston opens up as -140 favorites. Total opens up at 9.5. I know a lot of people are going to think I'm crazy for considering going back to Boston here, but yo, we had it last night. We literally had it. James Paxton gave up a few runs, but that was expected. The Boston bats showed up like we expected. They go into the 9th inning with the lead. 6-5 Red Sox. Kenley Jansen on the mound, who's been great this year, blows the save. I believe it was just his 3rd blown save of the entire season. Maybe just his second. Was his 2nd or 3rd. He's having a pretty good year. So we had it. Just a bit of bad luck there. These Red Sox bats are still hot. They showed us that last night. But here's the reason I'm hesitant to jump onto Boston again. Steven Matz is a lefty. Boston's been doing most of their damage against right-handed pitching, not lefties. Now, I believe personally that a hot lineup is a hot lineup either way, and they probably will still hit Matz. But even if they don't, they should still be able to get to the Cardinals bullpen again. So there's no way I'm betting St. Louis. I'm just not 100% sure if I'm going to put Boston on the final ticket. So I'll say Boston or pass for now, and I'll let you know the final answer on the live show at 11 a.m. next game. Angels at Guardians, 6:10 p.m. Reed Detmers versus Cal Quantrill. Angels open up as minus 145 favorites. Total opens up at 8.5. Another Angels game where I just don't understand the price. Cleveland cannot hit lefties at all. They're the worst lineup in baseball against left-handed pitching. I don't care if it's Reed Detmers. Odds makers just have zero respect for this Angels team right now. Now, I know last night's win came with a sweat. They came from behind to win 5-4. It was late, too. I think they came back and won in the 9th, or it might have been the 8th, but they came back and won at the end. But that doesn't change the fact that this price just doesn't make sense to me. I'm trying to figure it out. Maybe they think Cal Quantrill is a threat. I mean, he did throw a 7-inning, 1-hit shutout last start. Congrats, dude. You shut down the mighty Twins lineup who haven't been hitting anybody. Maybe they're thinking the Angels' bats have cooled down against right-handed pitching, and I mean, there is truth to that. The Angels were crushing the righties 2 or 3 weeks ago, but in the last 2 weeks, they're just 9th against right-handed pitching. Last 7 days back at 18th. That's still better than Cleveland against lefties by a mile. Either way, I am not scared to fade Cal Quantrill. I am not scared to fade Cleveland, especially with a lefty on the mound. Give me the Halos. Give me the Angels money line here. Next game. Pirates at Orioles is next. Why are we even talking about this? You already know what it is. You already know what it is. Say it with me. Pirates team total under. This team cannot hit. This team cannot score runs. This has been going on for 2 weeks. We played it last night. It cashed. I don't even care who's pitching. Do not care. Pirates team total under next game. Royals at Brewers. The Royals screwed me last night. I really thought I was being such a slick son of a bitch taking the Royals at the huge price. Bit me in the ass. They did not cover the plus 1.5. I'm down to fade Zach Greinke on the road, so I'm putting Brewers or pass for this one. I don't like the price, and I would imagine the public's going to come in pretty heavy on Milwaukee, so I want to see what the line does before I make a final decision, but I'm going to say Brewers or pass. I'm definitely not back in Kansas City again. I actually ran out of time. It's after 12:30 now, and I have to edit all this. Prop Beaver's on vacation in California, so I'm shorthanded. But we'll be going through all 15 tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Toast is waking up early. That's 7 a.m. his time in Alaska. He's joining us again. So if you're able to join us 11 a.m. Eastern time, we'll go through all the games. Hope to see you there. If anything crazy changes, any crazy updates, I'll let you know on Twitter. So give me a follow there if you're interested. Saturday, no playoff basketball. So we're going to be betting MLB heavy. Remember to bet responsibly, and I'll talk to you on Twitter.